City of Stevens Point Plan Commission meeting, recorded April 3, 2023.
I have 6 o'clock. We will call the Plan Commission meeting to order. Could we get a roll call, please?
Weeza.
Here.
Kneebone.
Here.
Arnson.
Here.
Cooper.
Here.
Ilton.
Here.
Rice is excused, and Schuler.
Here.
We have 6.
We have a quorum, and we will continue. Should be one of our shortest meetings in recent history. First one up is the report of the March 6th meeting of the Plan Commission. Those minutes and actions were in your packet. Mr. Cooper?
Move approval.
Do we have a second? Seconded by Ilton. Discussion?
How can Commissioner Cooper approve the minutes when he wasn't here?
It's just approving the minutes and actions. Any member can do it.
All right.
Would you like to take the first instead?
No.
We'd certainly do
He
that.
did watch it, so that's
He
okay. I
said
was
he
just
watched it.
wondering.
I trust him. All right. Any comments from the audience?
Sounds like fighting words down there.
Hearing
I don't
and
know.
seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that is approved. Item number 3 is a public hearing and action on a request from Jim Buckholz, representing the University of Wisconsin Board of Regents, to rezone 3 unaddressed parcels off of Vine Street, with the parcels identified in your packet, from R2 single-family residential to C Conservancy. There was also a email testimony that was sent out to the alderpersons. Adam, do you want to kick this one off?
Sure. So the request before you all is to rezone approximately 3 parcels just west of the Moses Crossing subdivision, between Schmeekley Trail and the Moses Crossing subdivision. So it's that triangular parcel that's noted more just to the northwest of the part of the subdivision, and then those 2 more longer rectangular parcels shown on the map as well.
Oh, you know what? I should probably share it, because you can't. Do you have it on the camera? You do? Okay. I just want to make sure that people watching the recording later, like Commissioner Cooper, they can see it. So.
So as the commission may know, anytime any parcels are annexed into the city, really that first month is the annexation request, followed by the second month being the request to apply a permanent zoning classification. So these 3 parcels were annexed into the city from the town hall back in 2006, and were applied a permanent zoning designation of R2 single-family residential. So you can go to the next slide. Really 2 bits of information that I think is really worthwhile to know in the context of this rezoning request. First of which is that these parcels are currently used as part of the Schmeekley Trail network. It's used for this more park and recreational type use, which would be fitting for the C Conservancy rezoning. And then secondly, just focusing more on the development constraints that do exist for these 3 parcels. As you can see, a good chunk of the land between the 3 parcels do have wetlands or hydric soils, possible wetlands, so the odds of this being ever developed in the future is slim to none, and which would, of course, better align with the purpose and intent of having a conservancy district to protect these environmentally sensitive lands. So staff would recommend approval, and we have the applicant here in person as well to answer any questions.
Before we open the public hearing, are there any clarifying questions from the commissioners? Okay, then I will declare the public hearing open. Anyone wishing to offer testimony on this request, step to the lectern, present that testimony.
Hello, I'm Jim Buchholz. I'm the director of Schmeekley Reserve at 2419 North Point Drive, and I just wanted to thank you for looking at this request. These 3 parcels were donated. The first one was in 2008, and the second 2 were in 2019 by 3 different families. You have the testimony of Steve Faber and Jackie Myers currently. There was also the Ciplina family and the Milano and Sharoni families. And all the different families that donated expected that this property would be protected in perpetuity as part of Schmeekley Reserve. And so we're doing our due diligence in terms of providing that protection by rezoning that conservancy. This is also an integral part of the Moses Creek wetland restoration that occurred in 2010. So you see that large triangular chunk that Milano and Sharoni families donated. That's a really important part of that restoration. We weren't able to do the restoration without that triangle, and then the other two parcels as well helped to protect Moses Creek coming through that property. So it made logical sense for us to look at rezoning those into conservancy like the rest of Schmeekley Reserve is, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the commission has.
Okay, thank you. Public hearing is still open. Public hearing remains open. And for the third and final time, the public hearing is open. Seeing and hearing no one else wishing to provide testimony, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Bring it back to the commissioners. Commissioners, what are your wishes?
I would move to approve the conservancy zoning.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Seconded by Schuler. Discussion?
I have a comment I'd like to
Yes.
make. I wanted to compliment the application for its references to the comprehensive plan. Not only did it kind of do staff's job for them in terms of referring to the document, but it also used the document for what it's there for. And I very much appreciated that, so thank you.
Great. Any other comments? Yes.
I think this is exactly what we should be doing as a commission and as a council, is whenever we find a unique parcels like this, we got to save them. So this is great.
Great. Anything else? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that is approved. Item number 4 is discussion and possible acceptance. We don't need official action on it. We need to accept it and place it on file for the 2023 McDill Pond Management Plan that was included in your packet. Adam, our director, anything you want to talk about?
Nothing further. I'll just note that we do have Krista Olson representing the McDill Pond Planning Committee, who's here in the audience to answer any questions or talk further about the planning process if needed.
Yep, there is no commitment from the city on this. This is the Lake District's plan that has to be done periodically, and all we are doing is acknowledging receipt of it.
Just looking through this thing, which took a while, there was one spot where it talked about all of the municipalities and whatnot that had reviewed and approved it back in its first iteration, I guess. And we were listed on there, but we didn't have an approval date. Did it just never?
So it's my understanding that this isn't something we approve, we accept it and place it on file. It's the Lake District's report.
Okay.
We get involved with it because we're all working together on these, but it's just acknowledging receipt of the report. So it's kind of like the director's report where we accept it, place it on file.
Okay. It appears that others are accepting it or approving it, and I'm not suggesting that we should.
Gray
I kind
area.
of like the notion that we don't, because once we approve it, then it's kind of ours.
The recommendation from our city attorney was that the requirement was acceptance. So that's what's on the agenda.
And I think that's highly appropriate.
And I just need a motion for that.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second by, we'll give this second to,
What's
Jesus.
his name?
Arson or Schuler, one of the two.
I was going to call him Pete, but that's so, I almost never call you like Commissioner Arnson. And you should be respectful in a situation like this. So it's
I appreciate that.
Alderperson, Commissioner. Yeah, so it threw me off a little bit. So I was just going to go, yeah, Pete. All right.
We'll get you
Any
another
comments or
one
questions?
this time.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Melissa Johnson, District 5. I just wanted to say something about something I learned about the McDill Pond, or the Lake District. And I read a quote recently that said, we stop learning when we think we know everything. And God knows I don't know everything, but this is what I've learned about the Lake District. Everybody gets to enjoy McDill Pond, but the fine people who live along McDill Pond actually pay for the management of that corridor. It's a transportation corridor, whether you're on a boat or a kayak or a canoe or swimming, which would be weird. So all of the management to remove the weeds, the invasive species, fall on the backs of the people who live along that corridor on either side. So I think it's important for all of us to be aware that these fine people, of course, we have a representative, pay for that work so that we can enjoy that transportation corridor, that river that we have all enjoyed. So it's just something I learned and I want to share with the public and I think is really important. So thank you.
Anything else? Yes, sir.
I just want to say congratulations on the update. It's nice to have updates done when you can get to them. And I hope it provides you all of the basis and latitude that you need to do whatever you need to help the pond in the district. So congrats on getting it done.
Alderperson Knebel.
I was just going to say, I thought it was really well done, very inclusive, the surveys, just really good job.
Any other comments? Okay, just one point of note, the city has and continues to be a very significant partner in the management of McDill Pond. We own and maintain the dam. We have provided shore space for the weed harvester. Currently, all the dredging material is on city property. We have done restorations and creations of parks along the lake. So the city has always been a pretty significant partner in the Lake District itself and the maintenance of that. Okay, seeing and hearing no further comments, all those in favor of accepting the report and placing it on file signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that is accepted. Item number 5 is the director's report. Director?
Thank you, Mayor. Banter, which is the mixed-use building on Division Street, continues work. They are past their 75% completion point. The Grove, which is the former convent, continues their work as well. The 1965 edition, or the Maria Center as it was formerly known, is actually really near completion and will start accepting tenants very shortly. The 1901 and the 1915 wings of the building continue work. Of course, it's over 100 years old. It's going to require a little bit more work. The townhomes along the north property line are being framed out currently. Great Northern Distilling will open this month, knock on wood. That's been moving forward, so that's exciting. Just for this body's information, this Thursday there is a special Common Council meeting where there will be a presentation and discussion on possible transfer of ownership of properties in the downtown area from the city to the county. Of course, anything that would come out of that conversation will ultimately come to Plan Commission for disposition, acquisition of property. So just keep that on your radar as we move forward and as the county continues their 30-year journey on building a new courthouse and jail. And finally, for anyone who is really excited, like I am, about the Brewers having their home opener today, they did win 10-0. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, Director.
I've got my Brewer tie on today and everything. You're lucky I'm not wearing a jersey.
The one thing we're missing is the inspection report.
Inspection report was not done because this is the first Monday
Brewers are
after
playing?
Brewers are playing. Yeah, we're just too
get
busy
it.
in the community development office.
So we'll get 2 next month.
Yeah, you'll get 2 next month. Typically, when it's this quick after the end of the previous month, we do try to delay it to the next month, just for the sake of Maria.
Okay. Excellent. All right, with that, our agenda is exhausted, and we are adjourned at 6:13. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, for jinxing us.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.